and welcome, passionate Pisces. My name's Rose Smith from absolutesoulsecrets.com, and I'm here to do your September horoscope. Well, it looks like a better month for you, dear Pisces, because I know over the last couple of months you may have been through a bit of a torrid time, some of you at least anyway. But this month is looking a little bit better, and your relationships could be blessed. So that's all sorts of relationships. There could be business relationships, friends, or even romantic relationships, okay, or marriages, committed relationships, because your 7th and 8th houses both have a lot of activity this month. Okay, so the first half of the month sees the Sun, Mercury, Venus and Mars in your 7th house. Mars will be there all month, in fact, okay. And then we'll go to the second half of the month after that. But this basically means that your committed relationships, so I'm not talking about people that you just met last week, I'm talking about those important relationships in your life. You could see a deepening, like a really heartfelt soul type connection really blossom with those committed relationships. If you have a partner or a husband or wife, somebody like that, then it's already a committed relationship, and that could go to a new level. You might decide to have a baby, you might buy a house together, you could renew your vows, maybe go on an overseas trip or something like that, where you can spend some time just reconnecting and deepening your relationship all over again, which is just beautiful. But all relationships are blessed. Okay, so that's looking really fantastic. Good on you. With the Sun there, you're likely to have a lot of awareness and insight into ways that you can deepen your relationship. Venus is all about love, and she is smiling down upon you this month in September. And then we have Mercury as well, giving lots of communications and messages about love. And Mars, you're motivated to have this relationship go to the next level. If you're not at that level, then if you have somebody, it could go to that level, okay, during September. So there's a deepening. If you're single and you haven't met anybody, it's a great time for meeting someone as well. If you're in business, you may find some really useful contractors or employees that really believe in what you're doing. And you may find business relationships blossoming, perhaps new partnerships happening. If you're in social media or here on YouTube, you may find really beautiful relationships with your subscribers. Yes, that would be lovely. So it's a great time, passionate Pisces, for relationships this month. If you're, and then from the 15th, what's happening there is Venus and Mercury are going into your 8th house. And you could find then, if you're dealing with, say, because it is the 8th house is all about shared resources, you could find that loans, mortgages are positively affected. You might be lucky and get a tax check back. Your 401k or superannuation, as we call it in Australia, may make some money. And then we see on the 24th, the Sun also goes into your 8th house. 8th house is also about intimacy, so that's helping your relationships as well. And it's about taboos, hidden subjects, metaphysics, psychic readings, divination, the esoteric in general, psychology, coaching even. So these things that are like secrets that come out into the open, and the Sun there will give you awareness and insight as to what's going on. You also have on the 28th a new moon in the 8th house, so that's all about new starts and new beginnings. So you may be thinking of sharing your resources somehow with somebody else. So 8th house can also be about sex. So if you've met somebody, you might be thinking along those lines. And then to top it off, in the middle of the month, 13th and the 14th, the full moon joins Neptune in your first house of self. Now, the first house of self, it's very important. It's a fundamental basis for the astrological energies for the next year. It's because it's the first house. So everything sort of is relying on the energies here. And with that first house being activated, it could mean a change in your identity. You may decide to change your appearance, get some new clothes, new hair, new makeup, that sort of thing. And the full moon brings transformation and change. So you may feel things coming out of your subconscious that you weren't, maybe aware of before, but now all of a sudden they're coming up, and so you decide to do something about it and make changes in your life. And so those changes will be reflected physically after you've sorted it out in your mind what you're going to do and felt all the feelings, because you are a very emotional sign, Pisces, and so your feelings, your heart really rules your head sometimes. But that's fine, So just go along with that, and then think about, because it is good to think sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's worth it and it's good. Think about how you can reflect the new you into the physical world, and appearance is a great way to do that. It's like you want people to perceive you as you really are, not just how you look, okay? Because, in today's society, there's a lot of focus really put on us, especially as women, if you're a woman, especially as women, to look a certain way. And so, you may decide that you're going to change your appearance more in line with your authentic and true self, which is great. Okay, now I'm going to have a look psychically for you, passionate Pisces, and see what I can see. First thing is, I was just saying about emotions. So, and it really is important to be true to yourself. So you are emotional, and what I see for you is something a bit different to what I normally see, and that is here a ladder to success. Instead of being on the ground, for you passionate Pisces, it's in the ocean. Okay, so the bottom of the ladder is in the ocean, and you're climbing up, and you've been enveloped in your emotions, and now you're climbing up the ladder into the air. And so those emotions coming into your mind, the sky of mind, and you're thinking about things in a logical and analytical way, which is great, because we need to really have a good think about what's going on. So emotions are one realm, cognition or thinking is another realm altogether. And so I see you actually communicating with this. It's like you're opening your book of life and you're writing in it. You're going to change destiny or karma, what you came in with. You're going to change that now, and you're going to write some new things in your book of life, because those older chapters are finished now that your first house is being activated. So you're writing in your book of life new ways of doing things and thinking things. Okay, new thoughts. All right, great. Let's have a look now in the tarot and see what the cards show for you. Now, I have shuffled these up previously, but I always feel it's important to give them a brief shuffle again, just to get going, get the energy going around the tarot again. And this one jumps out, and it's the Five of Cups. Okay, now the Five of Cups. Traditionally in the Rider-Waite deck, these two cups here would be knocked over and spilt. In this particular deck, which is no longer available, so people do ask me sometimes where to buy it, but unfortunately we can't anymore. And I had these cards made. But these two cups are upright, but you can see they're separated from the three cups. and there are white roses here. This is a time of purification as you feel the feelings, and it could be disappointment. In fact, these two are separated from the three, and you can see a red rose here. So this could be to do with relationships or somebody that you thought a lot of and they've let you down in some way, I'm sorry to say. However, this is just for a time, and you know, fives can be about creativity also. So although you may have had this recent disappointment, it is time to move on and to focus on the three remaining cups over here. And although you may be feeling disappointed, it is for a time, it won't last forever. So please think about what happened and why it happened, and what you can do now to look after yourself and take care of yourself, passionate Pisces. You know, those tears will dry, and you can see the rain here in the background. Rain is symbolic of tears. So if you ever see that in your dreams or in your visions, you see the rain, or you become aware of the rain, or the rain is meaningful to you, that's pointing to disappointment or perhaps grief. There's tears there about that, and you may have already cried so much you feel you can't cry anymore. However, try and feel all of the feelings that you're so good at doing. That's what you do, passionate Pisces. Now the second card, which jumps out for me today, and we'll just have a shuffle up here a bit more and see what we come out with. And it's that one. Okay, and that's the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords, it's about, see how she's turning around, looking back at the past? This is about moving on from a difficult situation, and the number 7 can sometimes mean a spiritual sacrifice had to be made. Okay, you had to really think about things. There's a lot of focus on thinking, isn't there? Look at this this bunch of swords here. Swords are about cutting, dissecting, analysing. That is the function of cognition. See here? She's put 2 swords into the ground, so she's grounded her thinking in practical reality. Cognition relates to what goes on in the brain, okay, your thinking processes, and then she's buried them in the earth. So she's made it real and she's made it physical. You see she's wearing yellow legs here. She's got yellow legs. So this relates to the solar plexus area, all about credibility, fatherhood. Maybe her father let her down some way, and now that's been reflected in a recent relationship with a male energy that hasn't worked out. And so she has to move forward. So she's looking back at the past, but she is moving forward. Now you see here, there's some tents on the side and just over here. Tents can mean travel, but also the shape of the tent, it's like a chakra, it's like a triangle or a pyramid, and that indicates chakras being opened up. Okay, you see there, the flap of the tent's open. So your chakras are being opened up. Your emotions are allowing your chakras to be detoxed or spiritually purified. It may hurt, you may feel disappointed, but now you can move on to something better as your chakras open up and release the past. Okay, and now shuffling up the cards again for the final card for today. And we come out with, just give them a bit more of a shuffle. I'm just stretching across here, which is a little bit difficult. And we come out with, okay, it's the Nine of Swords. Okay, actually if I hold that up, I put that down a bit too soon, didn't I? The Nine of Swords, the end of a situation. Okay, you can see she is upset here, but she's holding on to something that's purple. This is spiritual. Okay, so Spirit is looking after you no matter what you have to let go of. Spirit is there, the angels. You have a personal guardian angel who is looking after you, in fact, and it may be upsetting, and it is time to move on in September from a situation that no longer works for you, passionate Pisces. I'm really sorry if it hurts, but do know that it's been a long process, and there's been some difficulty in that process. I'll just sharpen that up a bit. Perhaps you can see that better. So a long, difficult process, but moving on, and spiritually you are being looked after. Freedom is at hand. It's time for you to realize that you are free from something that was holding you back in some respect. Okay, so now psychically I'm going to have a look for you, passionate Pisces, and just get a psychic summary for you. Okay, so I see in spirit like a microphone. It's like there's things here that have been down in your subconscious, and perhaps you didn't even realize, but they're going to come up and you're going to say them or you're going to express them in some way. This is a month of expression of your deepest feelings, and even things that you weren't aware of, okay, from down deep in the subconscious. You could be putting this online. It's almost like a megaphone going out into the world, putting your feelings online about what happened and your truth, the truth as you see it. And as you do that, I now see, it's like I'm in a small dark room, and as you do that, I now see the door opening up. So you expressing yourself is the doorway to freedom, and there's a lot of light. Now they're unrolling it like a parchment scroll, I can see. And it's almost like signing a new contract. So this is a spiritual contract. Do become aware of what it is that you're signing up to, though. And if you're signing contracts and agreements in this physical world, also read the fine print. Don't just sign up to anything. But it's up to you. You can really take a step up towards your own happiness. I get what's that word? Life force. Okay, life force. It's almost like you've been feeling very flat and not having a lot of energy. It's like you've been feeling jaded. Now there's like an old wizard here with a long dark grey beard, and there's magic. Magic can happen for you if you really want to step up and get your life force back. It's like your life force has been squandered, wasted, stolen even. Somehow it's not flowing through your body. Okay, so clean, pure water. Go to the beach or the ocean, a clean beach or the ocean, and if you can, go for a swim in the ocean. If you don't have ocean around you, go to a lake or a river. If you can't do that, go to YouTube and look at videos of the ocean, okay, and drink a lot of water. Take baths with half a cup of Epsom salt and half a cup of magnesium to draw all that past energy out of your body. And actually I did read the other day that a half-hour bath with sitting in the bath for half an hour is like going for a 30-minute run in terms of calories. I don't know if that's true or not, but certainly you feel better after you have a bath and then go to sleep. Okay, all right, a very meaningful month for you passionate Pisces, and everything is going to be okay, so please don't worry. You can leave comments for me down in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer your comments. Okay, but have a very insightful month, and please catch me on Monday mornings 8 a.m. Sydney, Australia time, which is 7 p.m. if you're in Los Angeles, 10 p.m. New York, 2 a.m. Londinium, 6 a.m. Perth, Western Australia, and 10 a.m. Auckland, New Zealand on this channel. And I am doing pick a card. So it's simple. You just pick a number between 1 and 5 and I'll do a psychic interpretation for you. But in the meantime, have a wonderful few days, and I shall see you then. And don't forget to leave a like if this was helpful, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell. And you can send or share this video all around the world. That would be fabulous. Okay then, thanks very much, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.